Hey there, you're listening to Not Another TV Podcast. This is episode 98, the week of November 2nd, 2025. My name's Drew Koenig. With me, as always, my co-host, Matt Sassy. Matt, how we doing?
Good. I just realized that my 911 podcast episode this week will also be 98, so I think that's really crazy.
We are on track. Synchronicity, the simulation is broken. So, how are we doing this week? How was your Halloween?
I didn't really do anything for Halloween. My mom gets trick-or-treaters at her house, so my sister sat on the porch and, gave out candy and little, Dollar Tree toys, whatever. So, for me, it was just another night. I watched an episode of Teen Wolf and then recorded a podcast about it, so...
As you do.
As you do. I was like, I guess it's sort of spooky. That works, I guess. It was season 1 when they were, trying really hard to be super spooky with Teen Wolf.
Oh, yeah.
So, how was your Halloween?
Good. Not a script. I also recorded a podcast on Halloween. Myself and friend of the show, Robyn Jeffrey, did a little Dimension 20 thing that you'll hear later on in this episode. And thank you again to Robyn for stepping in for that, because that was a lot of fun. But you'll hear that later on. But yeah, that was my Halloween. It was,
just another day.
Just another day.
I will say some of the costumes I saw on the internet were kind of cool. We had a staff meeting, whatever, over Zoom at one point on Thursday, and we were allowed to wear costumes to it. And I'm like, I don't have a freaking costume. I'm not doing it. And I was glad to know that I was not the only one that didn't do it. But the people that did, one of them, she is working on a knitting project. So she literally just draped the knitting project and the yarn all over her and called herself an unfinished knitting project. And I'm like,
solid.
That's actually genius. Very little effort. Great costume. But then also David Tennant and Michael Sheen dressed up as each other.
Oh, yeah.
For Halloween. And I was like, you know what? The internet's not all bad. There are some good costumes going on here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw some fun TV costumes online. I saw someone dress up as Dr. Bowen from The Pit, and then Supriya Ganesh shared their social media, which is the most horrifying thing I can imagine happening.
Yeah, that's that's funny.
Yeah, and I saw a bunch of Yellow Jackets. The amount of Lottie Nat couples costumes that I saw were truly mind blowing.
But it works.
It works. Yeah, just a bunch of lesbian couples dressing up as Lottie and Nat, and it's just kind of great.
That's amazing.
But yeah, Halloween is done now. We're on to the last 2 months of the year, which is fine. I'm totally fine with the way the time progresses.
I find it really funny, the number of people that complain about the people that are already starting to wear Christmas things, put out Christmas things, whatever. And they're like, there's a whole nother holiday. And I go, do we really acknowledge that holiday? Do we acknowledge the racism of that holiday? Because I don't think we did anymore.
Listen. Ideologically, I agree with you. However, on a point of principle, I cannot think about that other holiday until the 26th
the end of November.
Until Thanksgiving has passed.
I literally give people, I'm like, okay, listen, asking you to wait till Thanksgiving is a lot, in the people around me, I mean, my inner group, whatever. But I was like, at least wait until after my birthday, because that is the midpoint of November.
Right.
Just wait until after my birthday. Mid-November is fine. You could start then.
Yeah, I can't. I cannot.
I've fought for years, so I finally just gave up. I was like, okay, fine. Just at least wait till after my birthday. Just middle of the month. At least wait till then. Because I am not someone that likes Christmas carols. I viscerally do not like Christmas carols at all. The music comes on I hated as a kid that the radio stations would only play Christmas music from like mid-November till the end of December. I was like, it made me so angry because I'm like, I want to listen to something else. And back then, you couldn't just put on a streaming service and listen to music that you wanted to listen to.
Right.
I am, and this may get me a lot of hate, but I hate Christmas carols. I think they're ridiculous. And if that makes me a Grinch, then so be it. I'm a Grinch.
Yeah, I appreciate a certain vibe of it. At a certain point, we are not at that point.
You're like, not yet.
Yeah. When we get into like December, cool. The vibe is there, fine. But yeah, until then, no. The end of the year approaches, and it's fine. I'm totally fine with it. Not all alarmed by the way that time moves. Let's talk about some news real quick. Matt, what news is there?
The only thing I can think of is they announced the cast of the 13th season of American Horror Story, which I did not realize we were at 13 at this point, but whatever. I stopped watching like season 6, season 7. I forget exactly when I stopped watching. But they announced that Ariana Grande would be joining the collection of cast members as someone new to the Ryan Murphy universe. And with her will be Angela Bassett, Kathy Bates, Evan Peters, Jessica Lange, and a whole slew of other people. But those names are like the ones that really stuck out to me because they're the ones that were like, we're done with American Horror Story. We're not doing this anymore. And even Jessica Lange said, I'm retiring. I'm not doing this anymore. So I'm like, what does Ryan Murphy have on these big stars that they came back?
Who's to say?
Especially Angela Bassett and Kathy Bates, who have their plates full with their respective shows that they're leading. Like, they even interviewed Angela recently and they asked her, like, how are you going to do this with 911? And she goes, I don't know. They'll figure it out. And it's just like, oh, Lord, this is going to be messy.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, Kathy Bates, you were retiring. Like, aren't you retiring?
She was going to, and then Matlock took off, and she's like, okay, I'll wait till Matlock's over. And it's like, okay, girl.
At a certain point, it's
very much.
Yeah, at a certain point, it's in for a penny, in for a pound.
And to be fair, it's very much in line with her character on Matlock because Maddie, quote unquote, was like, oh yeah, told her husband she was going to retire, and now she's like, I don't want to retire. I want to keep working. And it's like, oh man. I might tune in for season 13 because like I love me some Jessica Lange. Like you'd have to pull me, yeah, take a lot to get me to not watch it.
Right.
Because she's so iconic, and that's kind of around the time I stopped watching is when she was like, yeah, I'm out. I imagine they're gonna go like something super big because it is the 13th season and 13 is a spooky number and American Horror Story, all that. But yeah, right. And I'm sure Ariana Grande is going to be great because she's phenomenal. But right. Yeah, I was just like, that's interesting casting.
Yeah, which I mean does lead me to a slight correction. Ariana Grande actually has done Ryan Murphy shit before.
Well, yeah, she has, but I'm saying she's being entered into the American Horror Story universe of Ryan Murphy.
I could feel that email. I could just feel that email.
People like, she's already done shit. I'm like, I know, I'm aware.
Yeah, she did Scream Queens.
We don't talk about Scream Queens. I like to pretend that Scream Queens never existed. It had potential, and then it was just terrible.
One piece of news that I don't think we had talked about yet, I think it was a couple weeks ago, but is of your interest, is relevant to your interest.
Okay.
Michael Fassbender is doing a Kennedy show for Netflix.
Oh, interesting. I just wish I didn't hate Michael Fassbender. Because he's such a terrible person.
I mean, he is playing Kennedy Sr., so.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, but yeah. I mean, I might check it out. We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, who am I kidding? I probably will. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. I mean, that's a character you're not supposed to like anyway.
Right. character as if he wasn't a real person.
Right.
Anyway.
Right. Figure you're not supposed to like. Figure he was
No,
not a
that's
good
true.
person.
You're not supposed to like Kennedy Sr. because he was awful.
That'll be interesting. I don't dislike Michael Fassbender, so I'll be.
Oh, and other news, Doctor Who is no longer with Disney.
Oh yes, I did read.
They pulled out. Disney pulled out of Doctor Who. Thank God. Did I say it out loud? I'm so sorry. So sorry. I mean, we did get some good things out of it, but like for the most part, it was like Disney. This is very Disneyed. It didn't have the same British charm.
No, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see it go back to BBC. And yeah, there'll be a Christmas special in 2026.
Yeah,
we'll see how that goes.
We're not gonna get Who for a while, but I just found that an interesting piece of news.
Listen, I already promised that I wasn't gonna watch it, and I will stick to this.
Oh, I'll probably still watch it. I'll watch it till my dying. I'll watch Doctor Who, anything new Doctor Who until my dying breath, probably.
Right.
To be dead honest, sold on the regeneration, but we'll see. But yeah, apparently Disney pulled out because it had gotten too woke for Trump's America. So they're like, we are no longer going to do this. And it's just like, you made it that way, but okay. But also, Who has always been quote unquote woke.
Yeah, whatever. With anything else, let's move on to the GOAT. So, the GOAT is a weekly segment I do here on the podcast where myself and Maz nominate a best TV character or episode of all time, put them against each other, and poll online. So, our latest GOAT, which was from our Halloween episode, Treehouse of Horror 5 from The Simpsons versus Boo from Roseanne, and Treehouse of Horror, came away with a win. And I'm going to be honest with you real quick. I do think it boiled down to two things. The first, I just don't think anybody wanted to vote for Roseanne. I think.
No, that's fair. That's fair. It was just the show that I thought of in terms of Halloween episodes.
Yeah, I don't think anyone wants to view Roseanne favorably in this climate. If we were in a different one, maybe.
Fair enough.
And second, it's going to be hard for anything to go up against Treehouse of Horror, which is, kind of universally beloved.
I'm going to believe you on that one because I've never watched a single episode of The Simpsons in my life.
Right. And I think it's hard to go up against The Simpsons in general.
Yeah. It is.
So, that one just wasn't really with you.
It's okay. I wasn't expecting to win. It's fine.
Yeah. This week, in honor of Talamasca, we are doing vampires, which there's a lot to go through. Pick from here again. You got Buffy the Vampire Slayer, True Blood, What We Do in the Shadows, all of the Vampire Diary shows, and then also Angel in connection with Buffy. So there's a good amount of vampire related TV shows to draw from. Since I won the last GOAT, I'm going to go ahead with my pick here. So 99% of the things that I submit to the GOAT here are stuff that I have like a really deep experience with and familiarity with. And occasionally, just occasionally, I feel the need to be the voice of the people and present something that I have no real relationship with at all, but should be nominated for something.
Okay.
And so, in with that in mind, this week I am nominating Katherine Pierce from The Vampire Diaries, played by Nina Dobrev in a dual performance.
The less annoying character that Nina plays.
Yes.
Sorry, I had to cut in. Sorry.
Deeply, arguably so. And for this submission, I will be reading from a piece that our colleague Lucy Bauer Miles wrote at Pace Magazine from an article entitled "It Still Stings the Vampire Diaries judged Katherine Pierce too harshly," which is probably true. She was a woman that existed on TV. Essentially chaos in human form, Katherine was one of the most complex and layered characters the Vampire Diaries ever created. Smart and incredibly cruel, frequently vulnerable and entirely unpredictable. Any episode in which she appeared was guaranteed to be a wild ride. Yet, her story was also a strangely sympathetic one that often carried real emotional weight. From her centuries long emotional entanglement with the Salvatore brothers to the discovery of her long lost daughter Nadia, Katherine felt things deeply and fully. It was her love of life and everything to do with it. That was a big reason she fought so hard to hold on to it. Yes, technically, Katherine was clearly always meant to be a major Vampire Diaries villain, and on paper she was. She killed a lot of people, betrayed a whole bunch more, and engaged in some casual possession, compulsion, and body snatching along the way. She stole Lena's life and even her body on more than one occasion, repeatedly manipulated Stefan and Damon emotionally, and used or took advantage of virtually anyone she came across over the course of her long immortality. Entire seasons worth of trouble for our protagonists were essentially masterminded by Katherine, even from beyond the grave. But though she was a character who repeatedly committed monstrous acts, she did them all for the most human and understandable self preservation. And it's hard not to respect and even kind of love her for all that she did when she did it all with a huge amount of flair and style, you know? And I haven't watched a lot of Vampire Diaries. I watched a little bit here and there. I watched a little bit also of the originals. But Katherine Pierce was like this weird character of needed the breath really locked in and was like, oh, this is a fun character, and just chewed scenery from what I saw.
Mm.
And it's really like inspiring, just like almost mustache twirling villain at times, who's just so a kind of delectable. You know, Lacey writes here of like just so chaotic, so just like shit stirring. So
Mm-hmm.
I think just a great foil, a great like almost anti-hero borderline villain. So that's my pick here, Katherine Pierce from the Vampire Diaries, because sometimes you have to be the voice of the people.
That's fair. For my vampire, I thought about the vampire shows that I've seen, and I was just like, yeah, okay. But I never watched enough of the non-Vampire Diaries, like the spin-offs of Vampire Diaries, to be like, oh, let me pick something that's not a character from the Vampire Diaries.
Right.
And I never really watched True Blood all the way through, and so it's like, okay, I'm very limited on my choices for vampire to the shows that I have seen. And then it hit me that one of my absolute favorite vampire characters on television in the last like 20 years or so has been the character of Cassidy on the show Preacher, because he you often forgot that he was a vampire because he was running around with a supernaturally charged preacher who could hear God and, channel God and things like that, and this woman who was a badass marksman. And so, like, oftentimes you forget that, like, the reason he's part of their group, yes, is because before he became a vampire, he was part of the a fighter for the Irish Republic, and he was really good at violent type behavior. So like he's a good fighter. So like I understood it from that standpoint. He's friends with these people, but like you often forget that he's a vampire because he hates that he's a vampire. He also carries a lot of guilt about his best friend dying in battle and him being unable to save him. And so he spends his entire eternity just feeling so much guilt about that. And he walks through life with a lot of sarcasm and a lot of devil may care type behavior. And at the end of the day, he's the one that helps save the day because he allows himself to be burned by the sun in order for them to defeat God's plan for the world. And of course he gets resurrected because this is a TV show and he's one of the main characters, but he does eventually, like 100 years or so into his existence as a vampire, he kind of just a couple hundred years into his existence as a vampire, he's like, I'm done, I'm out. And he puts down his signature umbrella and just walks into the sun and just lets himself burn. And he is one of those characters that you don't expect there to be a vampire on this show, but there is. And he adds a level of snark and debauchery, so to speak, to an already somewhat debauchery-centered show. Because anyone that's seen Preacher knows that there's nothing holy about the Preacher character. He literally is not a godly man, but yet he can hear the voice of God. But yeah, Cassidy's just one of those characters that has always stuck with me. I've always really enjoyed him. His Irish brogue really adds to the character, and he's the one that's going to do the dirty work when the chips are down. And so, yeah, my pick for this week is Cassidy from Preacher.
Nice. You can go vote for these most likely on Tumblr and Instagram, and check our other social media for any other polls that might pop up. You can find those on our link tree at linktree.com/NoneOnTV podcast. They'll have all our links in our Discord. Next week, we're going to be doing a redemption pick. So if you all can think of any that have lost in the past and we should bring back, be sure to also email us at notonatvpodcast@gmail.com. We will be thinking about what deserves a second chance. Till then, let's move on to the main part of our show. To kick us off for this week, I am actually joined by friend of the show, Robyn Jeffrey. Robyn.
Hello.
Hello.
Well, greetings.
I kicked Matt out for just a second. They'll be back. It's fine. I didn't take them out back and shoot them. It's fine.
Okay, phew.
The danger's never high, but it is non-zero.
Yes, of course.
Of course. But Robyn, you are here this week to we're talking about the latest season of Dimension 20, which just wrapped up. Cloudward Ho, which was season.
Who doesn't love an Intrepid Hero season?
We're always here for an Intrepid Hero season. This is our annual Intrepid Heroes talk. So,
yep,
very exciting. And this was like season 20.
I know Burrow's End was 20, so it's definitely been like.
We've got to be at like 25
a
now.
Couple more than that, like at least 23. I can think of like at least 3 that happened after that. No, at least 4 that happened after that. So
yeah, we're probably at like 25. It doesn't matter. Robyn, what did you think of this latest season, this recent venture of the Intrepid Heroes?
Well, before we start, as a disclaimer, I just wanted to say that every time a new Intrepid Hero season comes out, I'm like, it just doesn't hit like Unsleeping City. It just doesn't hit like Fantasy High Season 1. It just doesn't hit like Crown of Candy. And I think, to be fair to the new seasons, I mainlined Unsleeping City and Crown of Candy, etc. like into my brain. Like I vacuumed that into my brain. Like I wrapped the entire time, right? And I just like don't have, and because I was watching those for the first time in like 2021, so we were still like coming off of COVID, and so I had a lot more free time. I don't have a lot of free time now, and so when I'm watching these new seasons, I'm watching them like while I'm cutting a podcast. Um and so I feel like I didn't necessarily understand all of the lore, but I really feel like I got not even just the gist of it, but I think I did understand most of it. However, I did feel like Cloudward Ho scratched a very similar itch to Unsleeping City, which I really appreciated.
Yeah. I mean, we've been on record as saying, like, we talked about this, what was that, like 2.5 years ago or something, about Dimension 20 as a whole, of like, Star Trek Odyssey and Never After weren't our favorite. Still good, still of like a certain quality, but not as good as like what Dimension 20 is capable of, and not necessarily what we most enjoy about this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think,
I think I look back on Starstruck Odyssey and I have a lot of nostalgia for it. Actually, I stand by what I said before, which is that like I sort of wanted it to have a little bit more depth, like seasons like on Sleeping City. But I do look back on it fondly. However, Never After, I it still I think was not really my thing.
no, yeah, and I've rewatched both of those seasons recently, and I
Uh-huh.
still stand by what I said. They're not
Mm.
they are like lower tier Intrepid Hero seasons.
Well, also like Starstruck Odyssey had the like not the battle maps. They had the like online battle maps, which I
Right.
think made it suffer because god, the in real life battle maps by icon legend and star Rick Perry are like a staple of Dimension 20.
I agree with you, though. Cloudward Ho, I think it scratches a familiar vibe, but it also hits something different that I don't think any other. And I was really thinking about this, of like why I enjoy this season more than I have others.
Mm.
Yeah, Fantasy High Junior Year, separate of that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think there's something intrinsic to characters who have known each other a really, really long time. You know,
Yes.
that just hits.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we all know the cliche of the genre of like a bunch of bozos walk into a tavern and decide to start
Yes.
fighting things together, and like that's
And that's kind of what Fantasy High was.
yeah, that's tried and true. That's
Honestly.
D&D.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, that's why we play, because it's hard to like build a rapport with people. A lot of people you're playing with, you just met, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to build that from the ground up. And now we're at a place where these people have known each other for so long, like all the Intrepid Heroes have known each other for so long, been playing together for so long, that they can build these
Mm-hmm.
really intricate histories together that just feels so rich, you know?
Yeah, and I remember when they like first revealed that they were going to be not necessarily a family, but like similar to a family, might as well be family.
Right.
And people were like, "Uh-oh," in like the same way that Crown of Candy was a family, everyone's like, "Uh-oh." Cuz like in Crown of Candy it was like just heartbreaking when anything bad happened because they were a family. And yeah, just like history coming in with history and
Mm-hmm.
backstory is just fantastic.
Yeah. There's something so different about like a broken familial family, like in
Mhm.
Crown of Candy, and a broken found family, that I think just
Mhm.
is a lot more textured and satisfying in this weird way. Like, all the lines of like Siobhan saying it's a Toad issue, and then like everyone else backing her up. Like,
Yeah.
it's something that no other season has, I think. And it's
Mhm.
just that shared history.
Something that I really liked about it, similar to Unsleeping City, is that like in Unsleeping City, most of the characters already knew each other, but they were bringing in
Right.
two new characters who hadn't, and that's kind of what they did here. Is that like all the characters were like this old team, and they brought in Max and they brought in Alethra, who also had ties, obviously, just like Sophia kind of did.
Mm.
Um, so Yeah, I don't know. I continue to love, like, I really feel like Murph's characters are always sort of like on my list, but like I look back at them and I'm just like, actually, like Gerard was probably my favorite PC in Never After, actually. You know, like I look
Yeah.
back and I'm like, wait, Murph slays every single time, actually. Max was so good. He was so funny.
Yeah. Not only would I say that like I would stack like all of these characters in Cloudward Ho against like any other character that they've ever done. Especially Max. Max is a god tier character from Murph, I think. Like
Yeah.
I would put that up against any other character that he's ever played.
Damn.
Because there's
Now I'm trying
just
to think of all his
that
other
kind of
characters.
there's something about that kind of almost curmudgeonly fighter that's like, oh, it's good. It's just
Who has like pardon the pun, a heart of gold.
exactly.
But also like comes around at the end, like where it started with him being like Monty's books aren't even that good, and then like even just that little detail of him at the end being like, I, you know, complimenting Monty's writing is really nice.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
They know how to do a circle. They know how to bring it back around, and I love that about them. They are such good storytellers.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. And then there were just moments that like really elevate, that like ring in my mind, I think, better than like others that other seasons have, or like more other previous seasons have in my mind. Of like a one of the scenes in like early on in the season where Emily just cries on command.
Oh, yeah.
And it
Oh my
just
gosh,
wrecking.
yeah. I remember I had to like go back and watch that a couple times, being like, wow, she's just like, I strive to be connected to my stories and my characters in the way that Emily Axford is.
Yeah. I think it was in one of the behind the scenes things for their Madison Square Garden show where someone said that to Emily,
I was there.
all of her NPCs are real people that she cares about.
Yes, exactly. Like I remember this at some point in a behind the scenes at some point where Murph had been like, and then while we were driving home, Emily was like, I'm just really worried about Gallier, and I think like as if Gallier was like a real guy, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's how you
Yeah.
get the good bits of like loose Duke in the vents, you know, or
yes, yeah.
Her great Nat 20 insight against Willwell.
Yeah.
I've gone back and watched that clip, and it was the line of Brennan saying Willwell is a guy on an iceberg with an attached wheel, screaming, "Here I come," made me laugh so hard I thought I was gonna die.
The way that Brennan is just like, hey, here's an analogy, and you're like, wow, that makes perfect sense, but also where did you come up with that? That's crazy.
Amazing.
And speaking of Wheelwell, it's just so funny. Like I love D&D so much, and that's what like makes collaborative storytelling so compelling, is that like Wheelwell was quite literally just in a list of Max's brothers, and he was not supposed to be important at all. They all were like, Wheelwell, that's the funniest name, he's ours now. And then Wheelwell was a staple character throughout the entire series.
Right. They willed him into existence, and I think that's just so funny.
Or entire season.
Yeah. It's so good. Again, Willwell, I think, is a god tier NPC that every time you cut to him, it's just gold.
So solid.
So solid. God, it's just such what a funny NPC. Yeah, I think they're just like really good NPCs throughout this. Like Comfrey is such a, there's no good way of feeling about that character, you know, and I kind of love that.
Yeah. And I thought that was so interesting too. I remember, I think it was the end of like episode 4 or something. Follow me on Serialized, because I put I try and post a review for like literally everything I watch. And that's why I have so many followers. But I remember, I think it was episode 4. My review was like, wait, they're in Zood already?
Right. That was
because
crazy.
Like I was like, I thought the arc of the season was getting to Zood, and they were immediately in Zood, and I was like, wait. All bets are off now. What's happening? What's gonna happen now?
Yes. And it's, yeah, that's not at all the way I thought that would play out either. And I just thought that decision was great. Just to do this do a steampunk season, Lost World, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and then to just immediately go there, I think was a fantastic decision.
Yeah, and speaking of Comfrey, it's like it was so interesting for them to be like, we, laud her and put her up on a pedestal, and then throughout the season, like bringing her down and making her more and more of a person. It's kind of like what John Green does with like Manic Pixie Dream Girls, where it's like, hey man, I'm just a girl, like you're the one who's making me up in your head to be this like fancy person. And so it's like everyone's like, Comfrey is everything, and then it goes down and down and down throughout the season, and then when you finally meet her, you're like, I don't even know how to feel.
Yeah. Speaking of that, like that kind of brings me like the other big moment that springs up in my mind when I think about the season is Lou's big outburst at Comfrey, which again is an all-timer. It's just really good.
He has to have one every time. I am faithful. I was faithful. I would have been faithful. Like
exactly.
He always has one, and like, yeah. Just like the way that Emily commits to her characters, like so does Lou, and he always like he improvs the craziest stuff where you're like, I mean, yeah, he just says it right from the heart, and it's always so good.
Yes. If anyone hasn't listened to Worlds Beyond Number, it's really, really good. I've been listening to I listened to the third book. Lou and Brendan and Erica and Abria did their best. I think they've put in their best work ever on that podcast.
Did you listen to the like short thing that Erica DM'd that was just like Clue but roleplay?
Yeah, I'm listening to that right now.
Oh my gosh, it's
really good.
So good.
It's really good.
I loved it.
Go listen to that. You'll see some really, really good Lou stuff in that.
Totally.
If Lou was your guy this season, just
yeah, check it out.
Check it out.
Can I give a shout out to Allie? They were making me laugh so much this season. Sometimes, and we've talked about this before, sometimes you're like, hey, Allie, rein it back, pal. What's going on? But they were getting me this season. Like, there were a couple episodes there where I was laughing out loud at something Allie said, like multiple episodes in a row. And the one that always like comes to mind is when they like, everybody accidentally thought that Murdersher was Alethra's grandpa somehow. And then, like, after they, spoiler alert, they kill Murdersher, and there's just this, like, zoom in on Allie's face going, Grandpa! I lost it. That was so funny.
This is a perfectly calibrated Allie Beardsley season, I think.
100%.
It's so good. Again, some of their best, some of the best stuff they've done on the show. So yeah, just kind of a banger season. I know that they've already filmed like their next 2 Intrepid Hero seasons, which is
I can't wait to find out what it is. I wonder if by the time this comes out there will be like a trailer or something, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's very it's very exciting and also extremely worrying.
Yep, as per usual. Yep.
Well, Robyn, thank you for stopping by for this quick.
Thank you. I feel like I could still talk forever, but I know you guys are very busy.
We
barely scratched the surface. Exactly. Shout out to Zach this season, though, too. I think we've talked about everybody and given shout outs to everybody except for Zach. I'm always like, I would die for a Zach Oyama character, and then I go, wait, I feel that way about everybody. But it's true. So, yeah, I loved Pappy this season, too.
100%.
And Ghost Dog, of course.
Yes. Moving on to our next show. Thank you, Robyn. Thank you again to our friend Robyn for stepping in for that last segment. But we're moving on to Dimension 20, A Court of Fae and Flowers, Episode 1, A Bloom to Remember. So we're stepping into high fantasy Fae drama. Matt, how do we feel about A Court of Fae and Flowers so far?
I'm intrigued. They all have some interesting characters. I especially love the 2 bird-like characters. What is it?
Squawk Erebus and
Squawk. Thank you. I was like, something with a Q.
Chirp Featherfell, which is just great bird names.
great bird names, but I just love these characters too. I'm like, I think that I'm really going to enjoy their dynamic as we go along because I already am obsessed with them.
I mean, Emily and Lou, who play her doing Chirp and Squawk, are just on another level.
Yeah.
Like, they're just being set loose, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's so remarkable. And it's just, again, I think it's something we talked about of like, some of these people have like so much experience playing together that like,
Yeah.
after so many seasons of Dimension 20, because I think they would have done like at least 3 or 4 Intrepid Hero seasons at this point. Lou and Emily are just locked in on each other.
Yeah.
And can just feed each other's energy so well. That feeds into that kind of cousin by way of sibling relationship. And it's just really good.
Absolutely. And honestly, just I knew going into this that I'm like, I don't care who the character is. If Emily Axford is playing them, I'm going to love it because it's Emily Axford. And I was pleasantly surprised that, like, yeah, this was actually a character that I would have liked even if Emily wasn't playing them. But Emily playing Chirp, like, really brings it over the top.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing.
Yes. And Emily taking advantage of Abria not knowing Emily's shit.
Oh my
And
god,
really,
yes.
really catching Abria lacking with Gift of Gab, which Brennan's was 100%. Can you imagine if Fig had Gift of Gab? The shenanigans that would have done. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there would have been 200% more Hilda moments if Emily could just rewind the tape 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It's a broken ability. It's a broken spell. But yeah, like Lou and Emily are just so good in this. Like they kind of take it. They are like the loudest ones here. You know, like they are the flashiest figures here, and they kind of run away with it. Which is to say nothing of like how good everyone else is. Like Brennan is just kind of also similarly being let loose, and just being allowed to be weird.
Yep.
In a different way than like Evan Kelp was weird, you know?
Yeah.
It's like a certain degree of weirdness, but entirely with an entirely different tone to it of just being a big, basically a big bugbear in a goblin court, and it's very good.
And I'm liking seeing Emily and Brennan and Lou with with a slightly different crew because like it's gonna be fun to see how these personalities mesh together the further we get into this story and this campaign.
And also seeing the three of them interact with Abria, because like obviously we're used to seeing Brennan and Lou play with Abria from Misfits and Magic,
right? Yep.
But adding Emily to that mix is really interesting
because Emily is the unpredictable loose cannon that everyone deserves to interact with just to like test their muster. Like it really is.
Emily is a stress test brought to life.
Exactly. Like if you can survive Emily, then you're set. You're good.
Fine. Yeah, if you can pivot from an insane thing that Emily just did, you'll be great.
I truly just, oh my gosh, I love Emily Axford so much.
Yeah, and again, she is a delight in this. There's something about that like heightened voice that she puts on for Chirp.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially like all of like the really high pitched cousin. It's just so good.
I also just like underestimated how much I was going to enjoy this campaign. I'm like, okay, this is going to be a fairly laid back campaign comparative to other things that we have watched.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm okay with that. I feel like I had a major stress anxiety during sophomore year of Fantasy High. I was like, I need a little bit of a breather from that.
Right. Yeah.
And this is definitely it. Like, yeah, obviously there's going to be challenges and things. I mean, you have to have challenges with Dimension 20, but you can definitely tell that this is already just like very chill and less intense as some of the other campaigns.
Yeah, I think I both agree and disagree with that, and like it's chill in the way that like all Regency dramas are, of like
Yeah, that's
yeah, we're
yeah.
just we're rich people hanging out, doing these
Doing stupid
yeah,
things.
doing
It's fine.
these balls and soirees, and you know here see the big poofy gowns that we have, and but it all has that undercurrent of each interaction you have is to a certain extent life or death, you know
Yes.
uh
Oh, absolutely.
which I do think gives it like that little bit of spice that like another D&D campaign doesn't have, like another Dimension 20 season doesn't have.
Yeah.
Because like
Also,
there's always consequences to role play in a certain way, but this being
oh, absolutely.
so fundamental to like reputation and your standing in the court and how you move
Mm-hmm.
about this this weekend is I think really well navigated.
I also just I love that the party that they're talking about or whatever is called the Bloom or whatever, and it's like genius. Like it's so simple but yet so smart.
Yes, yeah. Speaking of Bloom, um, the production value of this season is
Insane.
like
So many beautiful things.
yeah, it's like it is production value matching the tone of the season of this just like really ostentatious and loud shrubbery and flowers, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
everywhere, um and it's so appropriate for like this bloom of like everyone just coming together and like just trying to make the most noise you can for your court, you know,
Yes.
and trying to make a match. And it's especially fitting for like Lou and Emily's characters, but also everyone. Yeah, and it's really really good. And I also really enjoy the other players at this table.
Oh yeah. There's Gwendolyn Thistlethop. I'm looking at a list of
Yeah,
characters. By the way, guys, I am not remembering these off the top of my head. Um, that is not happening. But Gwendolyn just has an interesting name.
mm-hmm.
Anytime a character's named Gwendolyn, I immediately am like, okay, I'm paying attention. I don't know what it is about that name that I'm like obsessed with it whenever I hear it. Like it's just one of those names that I'm just like, Gwendolyn, okay. What are you going to present? Like, who are you?
Like that the cheeriness of that character is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really fun character.
She's just so cute too. Like when they show the pictures, whatever, I'm like, you're adorable. You're so cute.
Oh yeah, and then like Prince and Hera, who's just hot in a purely aesthetic way,
Yes.
and it's so good. Like, what do you say? Like, just useless muscle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so great. Like, it is that prince, that guy, that lord, who's just kind of vacantly hot.
Yeah, you're like, there's an air to him that I'm like, you're probably the most obnoxious person I will ever know, but you are so hot.
You're so hot, yeah. And he has no idea what he's doing. But I did enjoy Chirpin Squat's reaction to him of like, oh, he's hot. Okay. I didn't expect him to be hot. He's a match, okay? And like not just a match, but like the most eligible person there.
And then there's
the Deloso Delarue, who's just I've seen Oscar and a bunch of other dropout stuff, and this is just it's a very good role for him. Like just this kind of like the most like platonic ideal of this kind of ostentatious, like I'm trying to think of like the right way to put it, like the most like lawful good version of Caesar Flickermid from the Hunger Games.
Okay, yeah.
You know, like that kind of silhouette of a person, but just kind of all of the attributes just put into good. You know, like just the dial all the way in the other direction. You know, someone who's just like, we're putting on a show. But actually, now I'm thinking about it. Now I'm going through this analogy. It's actually more Effie Trinket than Caesar Flickerman.
Okay, fair enough.
Fair enough. Just this very like ostentatious. We're putting on a fucking show. You know, we're doing a thing for the masses.
Yeah, because they have a true form, and then they have a mask form or glamour form, whatever. It's like you want people to see what you want them to see when you want them to see it.
Yeah. And also just like we have 99 different plans and variations of a plan. Like the plan Q if Chirpin Squawk don't make it to the thing on time. And it's really good. Yeah, it's such a fun start. And it again, we've said this before, but Abria is kind of a god tier DM. Like she's so good. Listen, people might take this for granted, and people have a lot of thoughts on Abria as a player and as a DM, which they're allowed, but they're also wrong. The ability to wrangle Brennan, Emily, and Lou is not a small task.
Right. It really is not.
If you are successful in doing that, you deserve an award of some kind. Abria, I think Abria does a really good job of like setting both like the tone and direction of this story, and the way this is gonna fold out. Very excited to get to like some of the twists and turns of this season because it's pretty good.
I'm hopeful that it'll be really good.
Knowing you the way I do, I think you're going to be very pleased with how this goes.
You think you know me, but I might throw you for a loop on this one.
It's possible.
I don't know. I doubt it, but
it's possible. Let's move on to our next show, Talamasca, which is the newest spin-off of Interview with the Vampire and the Anne Rice oeuvre. And so I've only watched the first episode, so I can only speak to so much. But on a scale of Mayfair Witches to Interview with the Vampire, for me currently it sits pretty dead center. It kind of threatens to veer off closer to Mayfair Witches. It doesn't, but it threatens it. But I think there's enough going on here, and if it was just vampires and witches, I would be worried. Like if the focus of it was just vampires and witches, but the addition of ghosts and demons, which we don't actually see, but there is that potential.
Yes,
lends it a lot of credence to be like, oh, we can do a lot more than just whatever Mayfair Witches was and whatever Interview with the Vampire was. You know, I think it's just a lot less bland than Mayfair Witches.
And I find the lead to be a bit more compelling, and that's I don't know. I hate to say that because I do like what's her name from Mayfair Witches, but the lead for this show is like he's very intriguing. You want to know exactly how much he can do. And this is something that you see more of, obviously, if you finish the full first episode and watch the second episode. Slight dig at you, but not really.
I did watch the full first episode, just to be clear.
You watched the full first episode. I thought you said you only watched part of it.
No, I watched half of Welcome to Derry.
Got you. Okay. So, but yeah, like, especially in the second episode, we really start to see more of his capabilities and like other people that he's going to be interacting with. We get really introduced to the vampire that's causing havoc currently, and it's nice to see that like nod to the vampires. Like seeing Daniel Malloy was fun. I'm still not entirely certain how I feel about the show. Like it's definitely, like you said, it's like definitely somewhere in the middle. But I don't hate it.
Yeah, it feels really unfair to compare it to Interview with a Vampire, because it's like, well, that's a that's an all-time show of all time. You know, like that's
right.
That's like comparing Legend of Korra to Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like that's an unfair thing to do, and sets it up for disaster. Like so it's not as good as that, and it can't be as good as that. You know.
Right, which a lot of the critics were doing. Like I noticed that like a lot of the critiques in the reviews of this show were centered on, well, it's not as good as Interview. And I'm like, well, nothing can. Don't use that marker to determine how good it is. Like it's a decently compelling story. The characters are interesting enough to keep me, to keep me focused on them, and they give you just enough of characters or places that you recognize from other Anne Rice iterations that you're like, okay, this is definitely part of the Anne Rice universe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but it does its own thing, and I kind of like that.
Yeah, and I'll agree. Nicholas Denton is a more compelling lead than Alexandria Daddario was, which is no knock against her because I think she's in general quite good. But
yeah, I think it was just the writing.
Yeah, Mayfair Witches just isn't a very interesting show, and there's nothing she could have done to save that.
No.
Yeah, and in general, this is just a lot more engaging. The weird thing I was thinking of, like, Guy is a more interesting version of Rudy from The Rainmaker.
Yes. Yep. I see that.
And I think he's quite good at this. William Fichtner just like popping up every now and then in the first episode to just be kind of menacing. I mean, it's something he was born for.
Mm-hmm.
He's quite good at that.
Yeah, so he's very heavy in episode 2, and he does a great job of that. That character Jasper is very intriguing, and you're like, okay, how is this going to work out? Because the trailer for the season as a whole shows that he does try to convince Guy to be part of his people instead of working the work that Helen has asked him to work. And so it's like, this could be interesting. Like, I'm intrigued to see where this is going, for sure.
Right.
But yeah, the casting choices are really great. Like, Elizabeth McGovern is that perfect balance of keep me the fuck away from you, but also I'm so intrigued by you and you're very attractive that I'm like, I would sit and listen to you talk, but I would not trust you as far as I could throw you.
No. No, and I think what was it? Maisie Richardson Sellers in the opening scene of this, I believe.
Yeah.
As the kind of doomed Talamasca agent, who very much enjoyed seeing her again from Legends.
Okay.
That was a fun little cameo, even though I feel bad that she died. I didn't love that. But yeah, overall, I think this is quite interesting. I mean, even though this is like an Anne Rice property, and we're going to talk about another of his oeuvre in a second, like it feels kind of Stephen King in a certain way of like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we got a supernatural thing, we got a big thing happening here, and then there's also a guy who can do another thing. You know, our hero can do like
Yes.
this thing here that is
And he's
very.
also got this personal mission of his own to figure out the truth about his mother.
Mhm.
On top of, he has to keep Jasper in line because Talamasca's not happy with Jasper. Jasper's the big, antagonist, and we're just like, there's so much going on, but like, also it doesn't feel like there's too much going on.
Yeah. So I feel like this is a pretty good start off. We'll see how I feel as the season goes on. Speaking of Stephen King, on to our next show. Welcome to Derry. And I watched the first half of this episode, not as a judgment on its quality, more a judgment of my time management skills. And I
That let me just say, the opening scene was disturbing.
It was rough. It was real rough.
So disturbing.
Yeah.
It's very Stephen King, but
yeah.
I was also just like, okay, we're starting off very strong with majorly disturbing gore. Okay, cool. And creepy faces. Cool. Fantastic.
Yeah. So I don't dislike it. It's just a lot. And there's a certain amount of this of like you have to like justify your existence to me, you know, because it's like
Mm-hmm.
there's no happy version of the story, you know. There's no because we know how this goes. We know the trajectory of Pennywise. So like you're meeting these kid characters and they're like, well, you're gonna die, you're gonna die, you're gonna die, unless some of you have The Shining, which is the whole big thing of this. Some of you are probably gonna die, and so it's like that's a
Right. And
tough thing.
also, like, I think the thing that also is just very, like, terrifying is if you've read the book, you know that this creature has many iterations and forms that it takes. And obviously, if you've seen the movie too, like, you've seen its different forms. But, like, this show is really going to highlight the versions of this creature from space, this alien thing. And right now we have Bat Baby, and it's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's very disturbing. It's yeah, not my favorite. But yeah, like you go into this story and you're like, okay, this is this era's version of the Losers Club, because like these kids start to interact with each other after one of the kids disappears. Like obviously the kid at the beginning is gonna disappear. That's kind of how Derry, Maine goes. But you see these other kids kind of come together having no interactions with each other prior, and you're just like, okay, so this is the prequel to the Losers Club. And also some, if not all of you, are going to die.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So it's hard to know what to do with this. I think a lot of it's interesting. It just feels very limiting in a certain way, you know, like it's just Derry, it's just Pennywise, you know.
Well, it's focusing on the interlude chapters of the book that focused on like the big events that happened in previous times that this creature showed up and was killing people. Because if you remember, it happens every 27 years, and so like this is one of the things. And this season is focusing on the arson at the Black Spot, which we know Mike's character from it, his family was affected by that. And so I don't feel it's as limiting, but that's just me as someone who is versed enough in Stephen King to
right.
see the potential of everything. I also enjoy the little Easter eggs that we get. Like the kid with the curly hair whose family is obviously Jewish. It's very obvious that his family is related to Stanley from It. I think someone said that the little boy is his uncle, which makes sense, like timeline wise, from when Stanley exists. That like, okay, that's his uncle. But then like there's little name drops of other characters from the It universe and the Stephen King universe as a whole that everyone's just like, oh, that's really cool to see that. So it could be potentially fun. I think we just have to look at this as a story that has elements of Stephen King to it.
Right.
That takes place in Derry. Like, you can't just be like, okay, I'm in it for Pennywise, because Pennywise as the clown shape is not going to show up for a while. Like, it's not going to happen right away, from what I've heard about this season. Like, Bill Skarsgård filmed some scenes, but it's not like the first half of the season.
But Dick Halloran being in this is very funny to me.
Yeah.
Just the trajectory of a man's life going from Derry's weird, I'll leave. Oh, look, the Overlook.
Yeah.
The single funniest trajectory of a man's life that there could possibly be.
Yeah, he's like, listen, I'm not too cool on what's happening in Derry. I'm going to go to the Outlook Hotel. And it's funny because, like, a lot of Stephen King fans have been talking about it. They're like, we're trying to see the connection here. We're going to give it time. We're going to hope that, like, yeah.
Yeah, there's that connection of, like, The Shining. But it's like, oh, really gotta stretch.
Like, how did he get from point A to point B?
Right. Well, even just, like, the ability of The Shining, you know? Not even just, like, the story of, like, okay, I can see kind of what we're doing here.
I also find it interesting that they're focusing a bit on the military base that's in Derry, because it's something that's mentioned or, like, alluded to in other books that take place in Derry. And so it's interesting to see them actually, like, let's explore this as an actual location for the show.
Right, yes. But even then, a lot of, like, the kind of, like, oh, the Stephen King overarching stuff is like, okay, you are doing what I kind of wish Castle Rock was, and Castle Rock kind of was this to a certain extent, but it's like, yeah, that kind of amorphous connective tissue is like, I kind of that is kind of what I wanted from Castle Rock.
Yeah, because season 1 of Castle Rock was great, and then season 2 was just terrible.
Yeah. You're giving me a thing, but I don't want it in the version that you're giving it to me. Necessarily, you know? Like, playing with the kind of multiverse, not multiverse, but, like, literary universe of Stephen King is like, okay, that's the thing I'm into. There's a lot you can do there, but it's like, I don't like the box that you put it in, you know? I don't like the box that you're giving it to me, you know? So I'll just have to wait and see how I feel about this as the rest of this carries on.
Yeah, they definitely are, like, sticking to, you know, oh, creepy things come up out of the drains. You can hear things that other people can't hear. Like, there's definitely a lot of that going on, which is still creepy. Creepy things in the drains are still creepy. Yeah, because at one point, one of the girls is just, like, sitting in her tub because she heard the voice, and so she sat down in the tub, and then the fingers come up out of the drain, and it's just like, huh? Nope. Gave them no thanks.
Let's continue on to our next show, Fionna and Cake, which I touched on a little bit last week, but now we have 2 episodes out. And the first thing I want to say here is, I really enjoyed the second episode. I think there's a lot of really fun art
Mm-hmm.
styles and visualizations, and diving more into Huntress Wizard is a lot of fun. And just seeing like,
Yeah, and seeing Huntress Wizard like do everything she can to save Finn, like, is just always fun. But this was just extremely distressing because you're just like, she's not succeeding very well
right, yeah,
at all. And it's just like, no, you need your powers. What's going on? Like, it was just, I was very distressed for most of the episode.
hmm but yeah, like seeing her start and like the return of Spirit of the Forest
hmm
was really good. And just seeing like Huntress Wizard as like a young girl become a Wizard of the Green, and her journey through that. And she's just kind of, she's so funny. As like she's just like trying to get the stuff from the tree, and she's like, "No, I'm good. What are you doing? What's going on?"
Yeah, what's
uh,
up? Hey, no, I'm not doing something I shouldn't.
I love her. Yeah, that whole thing with like getting, getting this antidote for Finn is like, oh yeah, we kind of understand that there's a lot of either implied or otherwise history between her and Finn at this point,
Yeah,
just because of how old they seem to be now, and how, how close we knew they were during the course of Adventure Time.
yeah, and I going into it, I'd forgotten that Fionna and Cake has like old, grown, hermit-looking Finn.
Oh yeah.
And so I was just like, who? I was like, oh right, that's Finn. Like, I was like, who is that? Like, took me a minute, but then I like very quickly remembered, and I find it interesting, the Simon stuff, where Simon's trying his best to figure out a solution while also stressing out that Huntress Wizard hasn't returned, and he's clearly losing his cool. He's like, on the edge of a breakdown.
Yeah, I think some of the Simon stuff in these first two episodes is pretty interesting, though. Like, like him going to visit the grave of Choose Goose and just being like, I don't know anything that rhymes with orange. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just really funny, and like his interactions with Fionna are just so great. Like the
hmm
man is incapable of not picking up a surrogate daughter.
Yeah.
It's just,
He needs to have a daughter.
yeah,
In whatever realm he's in, he needs to have a daughter.
exactly. And I enjoyed the mention of PB not being the warmest to Simon, because it's like, I mean, yeah, he did kidnap her a bunch. Like, I appreciate PB being a little petty about it, which is like
Oh, absolutely.
something we saw in like that episode of Adventure Time when his crown broke, and PB just being kind of a shit about it. It's like, yeah.
She's being the worst. Yeah.
Again, I love the little snippet of PB and Marceline in their house with Simon. Like, that was really good, and those two kind of doing the meme of like, you're the I know other girls, or you know other girls. It's very funny when
Yeah.
Marceline's like, I should give her a call. She's like, you have her number. It's very funny.
I also just love the continued running gag that Fionna is terrible at every job she's ever had.
She's such a bad worker.
She's just bad. She's just bad at her job. And I was like, I love that that's continued, even though now she has saved her town. They're like, they're like, yay, hero, grumble, grumble, you're a terrible worker. Like,
Yeah.
the duality of it all. Like, just,
I mean,
oh, right, I remember why I hated you working for me. Like,
yeah, she probably has been fired from like every place in town.
oh, most definitely.
Yeah, like I said last week, I love just the Easter eggs in Fionna and Cake because you have to spend like 5 minutes being like, now who's that? Like,
Mm-hmm.
again, Sir Slicer showing up in the first episode, and you're like, there's no way we're doing Sir Slicer, a character who was fully in one episode.
We are, though.
Yeah, just doing a bunch of that, like it's really good, very enjoyable as like a long-term Adventure Time fan viewer.
Also the cat flirting at the desk.
Oh my god, I love that, but
at the
also
register when they went to get chocolate, and I'm like, I both love and hate this in equal measure, and I
right, it's so of course we want to do Lady Rainicorn again, but also it's so uncomfortable for,
so
for Cake to be a for all intents and purposes a full cat to be flirting with a full human being, and that human being to flirt back. It's weird.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Very, very weird. Also, I really liked. I think I said this last week, but I really liked Hunter's appearance in the first episode. Gender bent Huntress Wizard, which like really does set the stage for Huntress really nicely to keep that in our mind. Vico Ortiz is just very good in that role. I did want to say the second episode where they break in and try to steal back Gary's baking stuff. I would break in just to steal back the stand mixer.
Yeah.
Purely for that. Do you people who don't bake don't know how expensive a stand mixer is? Because you'll see them in TikTok and you'll be like, well, and to do this right, you really want to do a stand mixer, and you go, okay, cool. It's a $400 thing.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You wouldn't, if I had a stand mixer, which I don't, because again, they're expensive.
They're expensive as shit. Yeah.
If I had a KitchenAid stand mixer, which is the one, just to be clear, is the one you want if you bake. If I had that and someone stole it from me, you would have to pry it from my cold dead fingers. Yeah, like when Marshall Lee was like, "We have to get this," I was like, "Yeah, you have to get that. You have to. Not only do you have to get that, you have to leave right now. You have to fucking book it with that thing this second." But also, if someone stole bubblegum stuff, she would commit a war crime.
Yeah.
So it's funny the difference between Gary and bubblegum in that way. Who is just progressively becoming a like twinkier version of himself as this show goes on. Very weird multiversal travel that Huntress Wizard goes on at the end of the second episode is wild, and I kind of can't wait to see what comes of that. Who is now apparently a seed, which is very intriguing.
Yep.
Also, I mentioned this, but I really enjoyed this recast of Huntress Wizard from Jenny Slate to Ashley Birch.
I thought she sounded different.
Yeah, and Ashley Birch, who's kind of very noted as a voice actor. It has been. If you've ever watched an animated thing in the last 15 years, you've probably heard her voice in whatever. Yeah, she's great. She really like nails the cadence of Huntress Wizard and really like picks up what Jenny Slate was doing very nicely. But yeah, I can't wait for the rest of the season. Let's move on to Ghosts.
Yes.
Their Halloween episode this week.
It was a fantastic episode, especially if you are a fan of Hetty, which I am.
Great Hetty episode, and almost made me want to go watch The Mummy.
I honestly, I knew going into it was going to be great because Alicia had tweeted all over my timeline about if you love Hetty, this is like a very big win for Hetty lovers and even H Money people. And I'm like, Oh, really? Oh, I'm so excited. And I was not disappointed in the slightest.
No. Okay. The weird lore that Hetty ate a mummy's toe.
Yes.
And then
That Thor watched her do it.
yeah. And then Trevor being irrevocably horny for Hetty's Philly accent at the end of the episode is a wonderful 1-2 punch of
Also, her attempt at a Minnesota accent, fantastic.
Yeah.
Also, who ordered the naughty painting of Hetty to be made?
Hetty, probably.
I'm sure it was her, but like it's just so weird considering how shocked and appalled she was at some of the more not necessarily risque things, but like what she saw as risque things early in the series. It's just like, so you're not actually so against it, are you? Also, Trevor has stared at that painting many times.
Oh yeah.
Trevor's like, I love that.
Yeah, it's a very fun episode.
Also, his idea of a curse, like it's just like, oh yeah, that's very ancient Egyptian curse. Like,
yes.
And of course, Jay, the whole time, all Jay's worried about is his fucking gardens.
Squash.
His squash. And I love that he's like waxing poetically about the squash at the beginning, and all the ghosts are like, yeah, you need to take that away from him. Like, that could get really disturbing really fast.
God, fuck that squash.
Help. Oh, man. Jay just continues to be amazing.
Again, I think we're playing fast and loose with Pete's powers, because
he's like, I will accompany you to Egypt.
Yeah, so just to be clear, because I think he's done the overseas thing before of going to
a vacation with his family.
Well, not just vacation with his family, but he went over to like whatever Viking land, whatever country.
Oh, right, he did. You're right.
Whatever country the ghost decided that Thor was from as a Viking, and then did that for too long and almost disappeared. And so now they're going to tell me that he went to Egypt and did a full incantation for for however long that took, and then came back. It's like, okay.
I think he can go. I don't know. I think it's like a couple days that he's allowed to be away.
Right.
Before he starts to disappear or whatever, which would give him enough time if he immediately did what he needed to do in Egypt and then turned around and came back. But who's to say?
Yeah, who is to say? Certainly not us.
We're not going to argue with it. We're just like, okay, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and also we can't forget the storyline of Nigel and the seance. Because Isaac, wanting to spare him negative feelings, didn't tell him that exotic dancer just up and left instead of, whatever. He's like, no, he died. He got sucked off. It's fine.
Pushy died on the way back to his own planet. No, that is a perfectly good like B plot.
I could see potentially Nigel and Isaac ending up back together.
Yeah, I could imagine. I don't think that's outside the realm of possibility at this point.
I mean, there aren't that many gay ghosts.
No, and I wouldn't hate that. That being said, I don't know how I'm feeling about Pete and Alberta.
Yeah, I'm still not sure how I feel about it.
I don't. It's too early to say, but I'm leaning towards it's not working.
There's just not the same level of chemistry that there is with Trevor and Hetty.
No, they got a show,
or even Isaac and Nigel. Like,
yeah, I think got a show where you have Trevor and Hetty, Isaac and Nigel, and Jay and Sam. It's like it's not hit, and also Thor and Flower.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not hitting the same, and I'm not really confident that it will at some point.
Yeah, I just think that as great as those actors are, they just don't have the on-screen chemistry that you would need from love interest.
No, and I think Pete's kind of a rough love interest to begin with, or like Pete as a love interest is kind of rough. So I don't know if that's a hurdle you clear necessarily.
As of right now, it's still not vibing for me.
Let's move on to our next show, Matlock, which this I have to say, this was a weird week of like Yellow Jackets cameos between this episode with Melody Linsky and Simone Kessel was on NCIS Sydney this week. So it's like, oh.
Yeah, I literally was like, when Melanie Linsky showed up, I was like, I was waiting for this to happen. Your husband is one of the main guys on this show. You guys tend to do projects together. Wondered when your cameo was coming.
Right, yeah.
And of course she plays the woman that Senior supposedly went to Australia with.
Oh yeah, and her character is so delightfully weird.
Yes! I was literally like, she's so excited about her makeup, and it's like, and she's like so disappointed when they do karaoke and Maddie's no longer wearing the makeup. She goes, I told you could sleep in it, and it's like, honey, that's not a compliment. Like, you typically aren't supposed to sleep in your makeup.
Not an expert in this, but I would say no, that's not a. That is in fact a bug and not a feature.
Considering her experiences with dead bodies, though, I don't think she cares. Like, she typically paints the faces of dead bodies.
Yeah.
Which is very obvious in how she paints Maddie's face. But, like, yeah, she's very strange, very weird, very antsy and jumpy.
Yeah.
Which I'm still not convinced, because, like, Maddie and Olympia say at one point, they're like, oh, she probably signed an NDA. But I'm not convinced she hasn't already figured out who they are. Like, if she signed an NDA, that's one thing. Like, I don't know why she would block Maddie completely if she didn't know exactly who Maddie was. Like, I feel like Maddie pushed a little too hard, and she's like, oh, you're someone that works for Jacobson Moore. And so, like, she's just like, no, I'm done. I'm out.
I don't know if she clocked them as working for Jacobson Moore. I do think she clocked them as people who were sniffing around.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
I don't think it was necessarily the NDA that prevented her from wanting to spend any more time with them. I think it was very much, you guys are very obvious at what you're doing. You're being too pushy, too fast.
Yeah.
Maddie should have buttered her up a little bit longer before trying to get information about her date to Australia.
Yeah.
And Olympia jumping in like, honey, you shouldn't have even been there. Like, that was like very awkward and strange. Like, very obvious something's up. Like, you couldn't even make that casual if you tried. Like, I did make a comment in my notes when I was writing up my review that the flashbacks with Ellie have gone on for too long. We've reached the point of, okay, can we just be done with this? Because I feel like we're not getting any emotional payout from them anymore.
Well, I do feel like this. I mean, in general, I think I'd agree with you. Past this point, I'd probably agree with you. But here, I think it's really necessary, as I think a lot of the times Ellie is like kind of described as more of a figure than an actual person. You know, someone who's kind of not idealized, but it's kind of like, and death became more than the sum of her parts. You know, and I think here being shown that, like, oh no, this was an actual person, and it's clear why sober, you know, there's such a clear loss, you know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I just,
like, being shown the actual, while sober, the personality of her, I think is really good.
yeah, I don't know. I guess. I just feel like I personally didn't feel like there was much added with it. I was like, I feel like this is just some of the same stuff, because we have gotten a little bit with her being sober. And so I was just like, I don't know. Anyway, I'm just tired of the flashbacks in general. I just am like, okay, we could have left those in season 1. It's fine. We understand there's an emotionality to what's going on. Like, I feel like you still could have given Maddie's emotional state without having those flashbacks. Like, I feel like you didn't necessarily need them to show that she's upset about, like, that she still thinks about her daughter and, like, it still upsets her. You know, I don't know. I didn't feel like they were necessary.
Aside from that, I think there's a kind of recalibration from the last episode to like how Maddie and Olympia are engaging with each other.
Yes.
Where the last episode,
they're not trusting each other.
Yeah, the last episode
made
it seem like they were going to be on somewhat equal grounds, you know, somewhat amiable, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this is a kind of course correction from that.
It's very much, oh no, they're not. They still don't trust each other.
Yeah,
you know, whatever. And I'm also appreciating that it seems like the show is starting to say, hey, we can do something with Julian. Julian can actually be part of the story instead of just being the sidekick that shows up on occasion. Because those final moments of him going to Olympia and saying, I know there's a connection between Maddie and Emmeline Belvin.
right.
And I'm going to figure out what it is. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, now he's in the trio. Are they going to tell him what they've been doing and bring him in, or are they just going to try and prevent him from finding out anymore?
I think
that is the real question.
I think we gaslight Julian from here on. Like, I think not only is that what I would do, I think it's what they will do.
Yeah, they probably will. But I think it'd be interesting to bring him in just to see how that would go. Because I feel like that would be fun, and it would be fun to see Jason Ritter like play that out. Because I do feel like they should give him more to do. And I feel like this season we're starting to see more of him. He has a full-on meltdown because of Billy's stupid family-related questions, parenting-related questions. We've seen him have a shift in perspective about Jacobson more because he's no longer a higher up. He's kind of a nobody now. Like, as shown in this episode where he's going around doing what is the team, the compliance things.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, poor Julian. Like, you are like bottom of the totem pole now. Like, you are so low on the roster of people. Like, it's so sad.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And then in kind of the B plot of one day we have to have a conversation on, and I think the show has to have a conversation on whether or not Sarah is autistic, because her sheer reliance.
I think she's neurodivergent.
Yeah, because her sheer reliance on color-coded shared calendars and like the gradual
people don't put things in the calendar.
Yeah, and the gradual acceptance of, oh, that's an actual baby and not a line item.
Yes.
and just the way that like we've seen Sarah not react well to change, really like improvising is not a skill that she has, you know, like or the kind of like adjustments that just comes from everyday life is not a skill she has. One day I would love to get more into that because I think there's something there. But yeah, I love Sarah in this episode. She's trying her best.
She's trying.
Yeah, her trying to navigate Billy's upcoming change in life and his upcoming babies. Just really funny, honestly.
I'm still not sure how I feel about this season. Like, I'm kind of like in the middle. I don't hate it, but I'm also like, I feel like it's missing something, and I just haven't quite figured out what it is that I feel like it's missing.
Well, with that, let's move on to Brilliant Minds, which also had their Halloween episode this week. And I do think we're starting to see some of the connective tissue to Wolf being in the mental asylum, in the mental facility, of him starting to see things that are not there. I don't think it still works, but I think it's trying to do some of the work inherent in there. It is a sufficiently creepy Halloween episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The clown. Yep. Terrified.
Not about the clown.
I'm just saying, the clown was terrified.
Not about that.
Yeah, I completely understand why they both freaked out. I'm like, I'm right there with you. I would not have gone even back in that room. You are a braver person than me. I'd have been like, get rid of your makeup and I'll come in. I was like, no thanks. And poor oh, why can't I think? He's so concerned about the curse and like
yeah.
he's just beating himself up because of those two brothers, and it's just so hard to see him like that. I like him better when he's not freaking out about his own work and his ability to do his work.
Yeah. He has to be like the straight man to Wolf.
Yeah, and Josh is just losing his mind. He's losing his edge. He's just not doing a good job, and he's in charge now. Like, and it's like, oh, buddy, this is not the time to have a crisis of faith in your abilities.
Yeah.
The new guy continues to be obnoxiously creepy, and I just don't trust him. And the final scene just proves why I don't trust him.
Yeah, they're trying to make him an actual character, and I don't think it's working. But also, the end of the episode is very bizarre, because it's like,
yeah, like it clearly ties him to whatever it is that's causing Dr. Wolf to be in this facility. Because Wolf is sitting there and he seems pretty with it. He doesn't seem to, like he should be in this facility. And then that guy sits down and he smugly says to him, "What? You look like you've seen a ghost." And it's like, you motherfucker, you're probably the one that put him in there, aren't you? Like, you probably put some thought into, I would imagine, probably Dr. Nichols' head and other people's heads to convince them that he needs to be seen by professionals.
Yeah.
Because how else was he in this facility?
Yeah. Well, even before that, with him seeing that same the new guy seeing the same hallucination.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what are we doing? What's going on? And there's only like 4 months remaining in the in showtime. So
in the timeline on the show.
Yeah.
And we're like, where are we going in this 4 months? Like, what is going to shift?
Yeah. Erica has to stop telling people her secrets. Just
to be fair, I appreciate that she told him, because I do think that he's going to be the most diplomatic about it. But
ironically, yeah,
girl, like, why you telling people? Like,
yeah, you've got to get a lid on it or something.
Like stop running your mouth. Between you and Dana, I don't know who runs their mouth more. Like,
the contextualization of like biohackers in this episode is they're just weirdos. Like, right? These people are just weirdos. We don't need to frame them as, well, they're just scared. No, they're weirdos who think that they can disrupt things. Like, they're just tech bros of a different type.
Yeah. They're dangerous on a whole different level.
Yeah. We don't have to be like, well, they're scared of dying. No, they're just bizarre
because
people.
They're so fast and loose with the rules of humanity that it's like, that is dangerous.
Yeah.
You're not just going to kill yourself. You're going to kill people around you, which this guy almost did. Like, I'm so glad his assistant like woke up and was like, fuck no, bro, I ain't giving you any more of my blood.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Also, the assistant, Jeremy from Winona Earp, I enjoyed seeing him pop up here. It's just kind of discombobulated about this. It's really good.
It was very good, spooky. Get us in the spirit.
Yeah. Weirdly, this is becoming one of the stronger shows that we want.
Yeah, considering when we started this, we were like, I don't know. how I feel about it. Like season 1, we were kind of on the fence, and now we're definitely like, oh no, this is a great show. This is
Yeah,
fantastic.
this is good. This is good shit.
Which I never thought I would say about Zachary Quinto. Not that I hate Zachary Quinto, but like I am so on the fence about him because sometimes he's great and sometimes he's not. And I know it's most likely the project more than it is his performance
Yeah.
necessarily. But I still found it. I also found the nod at the end to him dressing up as Spock being hilarious because I was like, "Oh, I see what you did there." Like,
I've never felt so conflicted of both like how dare you and I'm pandered to and I feel but it's working.
well, we all know that he loved being part of Star Trek. Like
Yeah.
Zachary Quinto, one of the greatest things he has said he's ever done is Star Trek. So like I think he probably went to the writers and was like, "Listen, we're doing a Halloween episode. Let me dress up like Spock."
God, I hope that someone from Paramount knew about that though. I want to know how close
Yeah.
Zachary Quinto came to being sued.
I don't know. That's a good question. Like maybe because they didn't specifically say, it was just heavily implied.
Mhm.
Maybe that's how they got away with it. I don't know. Who knows? Or maybe that was the stipulation. Like maybe Paramount was like, "Yeah, sure, you can do it, but you cannot say who you are. You just have to like it has to be less than a minute, and yeah, like blink and you miss it kind of thing." And I was like, because that seems like what it was.
Yeah. Also, Carol did a very good Uhura. Like that's a very good.
Oh, absolutely great Uhura.
Oh,
I was like, yes.
it's a really good costume.
She's just such a beautiful woman. And then, like, to dress her up as Uhura, who I love, I was just like, oh, yes.
Yes.
All the stars.
Let's move on to Slow Horses, which wrapped up its 5th season. And I'm just going to kind of echo all the things that I've been saying all season. I still really enjoy Slow Horses. I don't think this is one of its better seasons, but if by the end of this if all that this season can hang its hat on is getting rid of James Callis, good, that's fine, because this all wraps up by James Callis, who's the head of MI5 in this, and comes in and kind of big dogs to try to get Slough House shut down after they've saved his life, and then pulls out like the kind of the tape recorder from earlier in the season that the mayoral candidate had when he died, that they picked up, who had like this full kind of threat from James Callis's character. You're like, oh yeah, because that guy's an eel, and it's such a fitting kind of closing note on his character of him trying to make the distinction of different types of sex workers, and it's like, yeah, because you're a fucking eel, man. You're just the worst.
Mm-hmm.
You just suck so much. And so it's kind of getting James Callis off the board. Yeah, I quite enjoyed the end of that because you're not gonna. Jackson Lamb is probably one of the few characters on TV that I, with full confidence, say you are never gonna catch that man lacking. You're never gonna catch him off his guard, no matter what you think about him. And Gary Oldman, just again, what a great performance as the grossest old man in the world. Really great. And then like just the final shot of like, oh, maybe there was some credence to the story of the Cold War era spy he told earlier in the season. Yeah, it's very enjoyable. River Cartwright continues to be mildly effective at his job, but is a deeply stupid man who is never leaving Slough House. No matter what he does, no matter how good he is, he's never leaving that place because everyone thinks he's a fucking idiot. I can't wait for season 6 to come out. Trailer they put up for it looks very good. with all of the Slough House members being hunted. So very, very interested in that. Let's move on to our last show of the week. High Potential, and this is their fall finale. I pretty again the problem with High Potential, I pretty much clocked who it's gonna be as soon as the character is introduced. Like, yes, the mildly suave British guy is 100% the guy who did this, or at least as far as this episode wants me to believe, is the guy who did this. Right? There was never any doubt in my mind, and then when it's confirmed at the end of the episode, it's like, well, yeah, of course it is.
Well, yeah, mysterious French guy just happens to show up and try to lead them in a different direction than what Morgan is saying. Maybe because he has an ulterior motive.
Yeah. What I will say, though, is him and Morgan have really good chemistry, and I wasn't surprised when they hooked up.
Nope, not at all. She always tends to pick guys that are on the edge of dangerous, with the exception of Taran Killam's character.
Right.
Like, for the most part, like, she typically will go for guys that have a little edge to them, and this guy definitely has edge to him, so.
But yeah, that actor and Caitlin also just have really good chemistry throughout this episode. That kind of the push and pull between those two are just really exquisite. I need to figure out what we're doing with this captain, because him yelling at Morgan and then just choices that character is making is
yeah, I'm
very
not
weird.
Sure how I feel about him. And like, I appreciate that they kind of called him out. They were like, that behavior is not okay.
Yeah. Like on the scale of things that Morgan has done that deserve being yelled at, breaking a little tape and going on the roof seems really mild.
The crime did not justify the punishment. Because I was like, it's not really a crime. Like, she literally has done that before with no major pushback. Like,
it's just what more are they gonna do? You've already, again, I'm not an expert on police stuff, but you've already done all of the crime stuff on the roof, right? You've already done all the analysis on the roof. Like, what more are you expecting there?
I think it was more just that he just felt out of control of her, which, fair, but at the same time, you can't control Morgan. Like, you've literally said that you understand that she's her own loose cannon, but like, then you yell at her. So it's like, I don't know where you're going with this, buddy.
Yeah. But also him knowing about Morgan's ex, it implies that he is more like that he might be in on something, or he might be.
Honestly, when he first showed up, I thought, oh, they're gonna reveal. When he first showed up, I was like, they're gonna reveal that he's really Roman, and like somehow, like, the reason Morgan doesn't recognize him is X, Y, or Z. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
he's gonna have some connection to Roman or be Roman or something. Like, I was like, it was outlandishly out there, but like, I was like, oh, why are they bringing in somebody new in the midst of them trying to find Roman? Like, right. I was like, that's alarm bells went up. But now I think it's just he knows more than he's saying.
Yeah. I never thought he was gonna be Roman because, quite frankly, he's too white.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like, if you see Ava, who's very noticeably not a white young woman, you're like, the captain is just simply too much of a white man.
That's true.
So I never really thought that, but I did. I do agree. He's somehow involved. He's somehow on the level, either like working as an op or working as through Robyn in some way. I don't know.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, it's hard to view the character as anything other than Van from Reba.
See, that's where we're different, because I see it as Kev from Shameless.
Oh, yeah.
So I just always see him as Kev from Shameless. Like, yes, he played Van from Reba before I knew him on Shameless, but like, his role on Shameless went on for 11, 12 years. So
right.
it was that, and I watched the show from the bitter beginning to the bitter end. So like that character is more ingrained in my head nowadays than Van is. But yeah, like
Right.
you can't take him seriously as a cop, like in any iteration of character he's played before. Like
No. And I never
take him seriously as a cop.
Yeah, I never watched Shameless, so
he played a stupid idiot who owned a bar.
Right.
So again, do not ever see him as a cop.
Yeah.
So it's like, you're not a cop. His character was married to Shanola Hampton on Shameless.
Ah, yes.
Yep. Yep. He was an idiot, but he was the lovable idiot that, everyone was friends with.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very interested to see who Roman, more about the Roman stuff. I kind of want it to conclude, but I feel like it's going to go till the end of the season.
Probably, yeah.
Because that's just how it seems to be going.
Yeah, just based on the pacing.
But I'm just kind of like at the point of, okay, can we just be reveal? Like, can we have the big reveal already? I just want to know. And Mekhi Phifer continues to be amazing as the little side character.
That is it for this week. Next week, I don't believe anything really new is coming out. So probably catching up on stuff that we missed. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. Actually, next week we'll be talking about Has Been Hotel, which we weren't able to get to this week. So
yes.
That's what we'll be talking about next week.
We will actually talk about Has Been Hotel.
Until then, Mads, where can we find you online?
You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, at DorothyNYC89. And you can find me on Tumblr at MadsWorld15.
Nice. And you can find me pretty much everywhere at Drew Koenig. And you can find the podcast on all your socials at Not Another TV Podcast. Also find our Linktree at linktree.com / Not Another TV Podcast. And they'll have all our social medias and also our Discord. You can find previous episodes of the podcast on Apple and Spotify, along with whatever podcasting device you are currently using. Be sure to leave a review and subscribe there. You can also find our full Libsyn feed with all our podcast episodes at libsyn.com / Not Another TV Podcast. Again, that has all of our episodes up there. And be sure to email us at notanothertvpodcast@gmail.com with any thoughts, comments, or questions you may have about the show or anything you want to send our way. Until next week, please remember, don't go in the ocean. It's none of your business. Goodbye.